It's Ash from Super Videos, and today we're going to be talking about the possibility of a cameo by Abby in the finale episode of Season 1 of The Last of Us on HBO. But before we dive into that, I want to give a quick spoiler alert for those of you who haven't played the game and want to go into the TV adaptation fresh. So with that said, stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's get right into it. So first things first, will we even see the final chapter of the first game in the TV adaptation? The answer is yes. We already got a tease at the end of the last episode where Joel and Ellie got a hint on the map that the Fireflies were in Salt Lake City. So it's safe to say that they'll be traveling there next and that we will see that chapter of the game in the TV adaptation in Season 1. Now, the other thing we do need to keep in mind is why are they even going to Salt Lake City? And the answer is they're going to Salt Lake City to find the Fireflies lab. Now, in the video game, the Fireflies lab was at the St. Mary's Hospital. And as a local, being in the city where they actually filmed for The Last of Us, I can tell you that the St. Mary's Hospital, aka the Fireflies Lab, is going to be included in Season 1 of the TV adaptation. This is a picture of the building, which is going to be used as the Fireflies Lab or St. Mary's Hospital in the TV version. This is actually what it looks like on the inside. I didn't take these particular ones myself, obviously, because I can't go in there to take these pictures, but I found these online. But obviously you can definitely see that they're preparing to film the St. Mary's Hospital chapter from the video game. So obviously you can see the direct connections between what they're setting up to what we saw in the game at St. Mary's Hospital. So I think it's a no-brainer to confirm officially that we will see St. Mary's Hospital or a version of it in the TV adaptation. Now, the other thing we do need to talk about is what they've already shown in teasers and trailers. We actually even saw a shot of Joel in the hallways in the teasers that they released after episode 1 aired, which most likely came from the last part of the game at the St. Mary's Hospital. So this is additional confirmation that we will definitely see that. Now let's talk about Abby. Does it even make sense for her to appear in the TV adaptation at this time in Season 1? And the answer is yes. Abby's story directly links to the end of The Last of Us Part 1, with her father being at the St. Mary's Hospital where the Fireflies lab is. In fact, if you ask any Last of Us fan, especially those who have played Part 2 of the game, they will be able to tell you the role that Abby's father played in that story. How her father was the Fireflies doctor who was going to operate on Ellie, who obviously ended up getting shot and killed by Joel. So with that out of the way, it is extremely likely that opposite to the game, which had Abby's father's role be irrelevant and Abby herself not being anywhere in the picture, in Part 1 obviously, the TV version will shine more light on the father, aka the doctor, and as a result, potentially introduce Abby herself. When you think about Abby, the first thing that comes to mind is how ripped she is and her physical characteristics, but we shouldn't forget that when Abby was introduced, she wasn't like that. When we saw a younger Abby, she was just a regular young girl, just like Ellie was. So it's not like when we first see Abby, if she appears in Season 1, she'll be like Abby from Part 2. She'll probably be a bit younger, not as physically intimidating and tough as she was in Part 2 of the game. Now, I've always thought that it's very likely that Abby will make a cameo. I've done some videos on that already in the past, but I'm more so confident now that an even less directly relevant character at this stage of the story from Part 2 has already made her appearance in the TV show. I'm obviously talking about Dina's cameo at Jackson, which we saw in the episode where Tommy reunited with Joel at Jackson. Finally, let's talk about how they might incorporate Marlene in Abby's potential introduction. Maybe her cameo will be alongside Marlene and the Doctor, since obviously Marlene was working with the Fireflies who hired the Doctor. In fact, we saw flashbacks between the Doctor and Marlene, where Abby also obviously was. So maybe they'll bring that particular scene from part 2 in earlier. So maybe they'll bring that scene from part 2 to the TV adaptation earlier and give it to us in this finale of the first season. The other possibility is that this will be through a post-credit scene. Who knows, maybe they'll actually show us the Doctor, but it'll go the same way it went in the video game, where we don't actually know who he is, but we do see his face, and obviously he'll get killed by Joel the same way and all of that. And in the post-credit scene, we'll see the same Doctor, but we'll see Marlene there as well, and we'll see Abby with Marlene and the Doctor. And that's when it'll reveal to the audience that Abby is the daughter of the Doctor that Joel killed, setting up for the story that we're going to see in season 2. Now, obviously, video game fans will already know all of this. They'll know exactly what's happening the moment they see the Doctor in the post-credit scene, but it'll be more or less a great teaser for non-video game fans and those who are fresh in terms of what a season 2 might look like. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.